I should have broke up with this person a long time ago. How many times have you said that in relationships? Talk to women all the time that are coming through a divorce or a recent breakup, and they're like, "Yeah, I let this go on way too long." And I see it with people in everyday life that I know, and with friends and such. And I've been through it personally as well. Right? You get to a point where you're not happy, the relationship is over, there's probably not a future, but you keep putting in work, you keep delaying it, you keep putting it off, and then it just becomes harder and harder over time to actually, end things. But it gets to a point where it's so unbearable, it's impacting your life in such a negative way, you're so unhappy, it ends, right? It's the same thing with your health and fitness. You need to make a change. You have to make a pivot. You have to do something uncomfortable, but you keep delaying it. You keep putting it off and off and off and making excuses after excuses after excuses, where it's like, oh, my kids are really busy. I'm going through a lot in my personal life. I'm moving. I'm switching jobs. I'm in a busy season at work. I'm working 60, 70 hours. I'm traveling a lot. And you just keep putting it off and off and off over time. The longer that you delay it, the harder it gets. And oftentimes you dig yourself even further into a hole where you're like, wake up one day and you're like, how did I let things get so bad? And a lot of women only make a change when it gets to a point where it's drastically impacting their life. Maybe it's a doctor's visit where you became pre-diabetic or type 2, or maybe it's a photo you saw of yourself that just made you cringe and almost cry because you were so disgusted in how you look. Maybe it was that wake up call when you went up one flight of stairs and you're like huffing and puffing. You're like, this is ridiculous. Right? But a lot of women will let the pain get so far down the line that they only make a change when it just becomes unbearable and it's negatively impacting their life, and they get further into a hole where if they made a change a long time ago, they'd be good. It's the same in relationships. You just let it go on and on and on and on. It gets worse and worse and worse, where you should have pulled the ripcord a long time ago, because you always say that. Nobody ever gets out of a relationship and goes, oh, I should have broke up with them later on. I did it too early. Nobody ever says that. It's the same in health and fitness. Everybody that gets into great shape and makes a lifestyle changes, I wish I'd have done this, a year, 5, 10 years ago, right? Remember that. Everybody knows they did it too late, and it just gets harder.